over to Sunday and make those snobs happy, I guess. Talk some NFL football. And the Vikings, first game of the day of our teams, in what was just a very weird, unusual game. It just felt like I think the Vikings had there was I think they said it was 15 drives in the game, and 13 of them were 3 plays or less.
They had 10 punts.
Yeah, and it was just that kind of what we talked about. That heat was going to play a factor. It was a 30-degree difference from compared to the Dolphins sideline to the Vikings sideline.
But so does that just have something to do with
where the sun is?
The sun is? Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the shade with Hard Rock and how they designed it like that.
Yeah. Vikings bench was like 120 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins was what, 90 degrees?
Yeah, like 85 or something. Yeah.
And but in the way the kind of the theme for the year the Vikings has been, it's been find a way. They found a way.
Been effective.
Yep. They were able to they shut down the run, and they made plays when they had to. Dalvin Cook had the clincher. It looked like he was back playing for Florida State, running against the Hurricanes or Michigan in the Orange Bowl in 2016.
Both in that same stadium.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're 5-1. They got a bye week. Next time they play, I'll be there. So, Grant, what were your guys' thoughts on the game?
You kind of mentioned it. It's just they made plays when they needed to, and that's what really they've done all year. It's very opposite of last year, where when there seemed to be a play they needed to make to win the game, it never happened. Or the defense couldn't get a stop. Where in this instance, the defense has got to stop almost every time they've needed one. I mean, that you can say they blew the big lead versus the Bears. You know what it is. But they made the play when it mattered the most, and that's been the difference between last year and this year. I mean, they could easily probably be 1-5 right now, but you can be a Florio and call them it was like a puff cake or something like that at 5-1, whatever the hell he used. But they're making the plays. I mean, who gives a shit how you win? You're winning the games right now. You have a 2-game lead in the division. The Packers honestly look so lost right now. Like, this division might be on ice by Thanksgiving or before.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We were talking about this the college Minnesota team, and it's gone a little bit pear-shaped since then. So I'm just looking out for you, E.
I'm not worried.
We just got to take it a game at a time. Take it a game at a time.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, guys. The mental toughness on this Vikings team is different than in years past. Because, like we talked about last week, those last 2 games against the Lions and the Bears, the Vikings would find a way to lose. Well, under the past regime, they would have found a way to lose this game on Sunday. You give up over 400 yards. You're on the field for, what was it, 36 minutes? The Dolphins had the ball. You punt 10 times. Skylar Thompson comes out. He starts the game. The Vikings, can't get a gauge on him. I mean, Tyreek goes for 170. Jalen Waddle went for over 100 yards. Gesicki found the end zone. But, Zadarius Smith, he had 2 sacks. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, but the second-year player from Pitt, he had another 2 sacks. 5 sacks. Yep, Jones, thank you. 2 interceptions, as a team, opportunistic when they needed to be. And in a 4-minute setting, when you need Dalvin in that running game to carry you, Dalvin has a jump cut and he breaks it, and you get a 2-touchdown lead.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said last week, guys, there's no style points in football. As long as I score more points than my opponent, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
5-1, 3 turnovers, and you don't turn the ball over, you're going to win a lot of games.
Going into a bye with a new regime, you got to think these starters didn't play in the preseason. So essentially these first 3-4 games were the preseason. And you have 2 games out here right now. Good things could be coming this Vikings team's way if they just continue on this path. And like what we talked about all year before the season, we needed this pass rush. We needed Neil Hunter. We needed Zadarius Smith. Well, guess what? they've delivered so far. And there's another team in this division to our east who's probably thinking, you know what? I wish we had Za'Darius back on this bad back, because, you know, he was the leader on that Green Bay team when he was rolling in 19 and 20. He was cooking, and he can lead a team, and he's doing it so far. You hope he stays healthy. You hope this Vikings team can go down the same path. But I like this mindset, and I like where this team is going, because they're not folding when they would have before.